Hello, 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 hello. Hello, my people. Hello, family. Yeah, as you can see, I just got out of the bathroom and I couldn't let this slide by. Like I said, for you, your girl here, things come to her mind so randomly. And one of the things that I love to do that are kind of like therapeutic, my okay, I have okay, I have very many ways of relaxing myself, and one of them is taking a shower. And sometimes when I'm taking a shower, trust me, I can be in that shower for just hold on. I can be in the shower for hours, hours, like hours. Yeah, like I said, I can be in the shower for hours, and while there I be uh, decongesting thoughts and ideas and one and you know what, something just came up randomly, like it always does. I'm like, let me share this with my family, let me share with this with my people. And please, if it's your first time here, please subscribe. The best way you can support this channel, the best way you can support the message this channel has for all of us, is by subscribing, by building it, by every that one subscription of yours counts, and bit by bit makes a bundle. So please subscribe, and then let's move on to the juicy stuff. Yeah, like I said, let's get into the juicy stuff. Yeah, I was like, you know what, yeah, dressing up just felt like it's going to be hell a lot of time for me. So I'm like, before this gets off my mind, let me come and get it off my chest here. So yeah, what we're talking about today is, as you must have seen from the description there, that we're talking about breaking up when children are involved. And the reason why I thought like we should have this conversation, and I know these are conversations most of us don't want to deal with and don't want to even hear it, because we are so afraid of talking about these very sensitive things, and yet these are conversations we really should have. And so I'm like, you know what, trust your girl here. She doesn't mind putting herself out there. She doesn't mind uh taking the shame on behalf of all of us, and just doing the nitty-gritty. So yeah, your girl is here. She doesn't mind. I'll dress up later. Don't mind. Don't pay attention. Just pay attention to the message that I have for all of us. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Uh, okay. We can do whatever we want to do in our relationships, with whoever we want to do it with. But by any chance, should the acts of this relationship result into a child, whether it being a one night stand, like me, how I was conceived as a result of one night stand, which had its own consequences that I still am dealing with even up to today, because this was a situation where two people just met. There was no relationship, there was no background relationship or nothing, no emotions or no feelings whatsoever at all. And then they had a moment. It could have been 2 3 minutes or 5 minutes, and then it turned out into a child, which is me. And in such a scenario, it's very hard for these two people who never had any emotional connection or any connection of whatsoever to interact. And yet, as a child, the, whether at all costs there needed to be some kind of interaction with these two people. Like I said, that one night stand or that moment of passion, whatever that happened, for maybe for a night or for some few hours in the night or whatever whatever it was, turned out into a human being, which is me. And like I said, I've had to deal with the consequences of that up to date. Likewise, to many of us, whether we have been in a relationship for 5 years or 10 years, or been married for 4 5 6 7 years, or however long we have been with someone, and but then it doesn't work out, but then there's a child involved. That's the conversation I'm concerned about, because the relationship, even for me, that I've been with some people, and because there was never a child involved in those relationships, even there are days I forget, there are times I honestly forget having ever known some of these people. because there's nothing attaching us or there's nothing holding us till this day. So there's nothing to remember unless someone has to remind me, oh, by the way, hey, do you remember your boyfriend so and so? And then I'm like, oh, even maybe come across this person, because physically when you come across them, then that's when it clicks in you, oh, this was my ex, or this was I was once with this person. But the one with where children are involved, oh my goodness, even when you're sleeping, like whether I like it or not, this person, you'll always have to have a thought, or this person's name will either have to come up whether you like it or not, or like where you end up having children with this person, it's a different story. Children or a child, it's a different story. So why am I having this conversation? In most cases, oh, our headgear is falling off. Well, right, let it fall, because after all, my hair has probably dried now. I don't know. So let's even remove. Okay, let's just do this. Yeah. So yeah, whether we like it or not, we are there's certain, like majority, let's say even up to 80%, mostly because these relationships don't end up well. When they end up, interactions between these two people is always complicated in most cases, and I am in that shoe too. Like I said, personally, I was as a result of a one night stand situation, so having to have my mom and my dad to interact over the years of my 30 plus years has been like getting a camel to move through the eye of a needle. It has been that bad. And then even for my own case, having when my relationship with baby daddy didn't work out, because it didn't work out on the right terms, it's the interaction between us has been also quite a challenge, and at the end of the day, like I said, it takes for me, I can be angry at him for the rest of my life, no problem. But what does my anger against him affect the child or the children I have with him? You get? That's the question. That's why I'm having this conversation with all of us. I can feel betrayed or disappointed or cheated on, or whatever my reasons are for my relationship with the father of my child not working out. But how how does that feeling of disappointment or betrayal or whatever, how does that affect the child I have with this person? You know? And just be told, it has terrible effects, adverse effects, especially on the children. And that's why I feel like it's very important for us to have these conversations like we're having right now, to try and see. I'm not saying we should force the relationships to work for the sake of the children. No, if it's not working out, it's not working out. Full stop. There's nothing we both can do about it. It's not working out. It's not working out. The relationship, meaning the relationship between me and the father of my child, me and the father of my children, me and my boyfriend, okay, whatever, me and that one night, as long as we had an interaction with this individual and it ended up into a child or children, but then we couldn't make it as husband and wife or as partners, or we couldn't stay together for whatsoever reason, or me and you have, it's okay. But what we now need to do as grown adults, knowing that we have brought these human beings into this world, is to swallow our ego, swallow our pride, swallow our whatever our reasons are, swallow our anger, swallow our frustration, swallow our betrayal, and be the bigger person. If we can both be the bigger person and put besides our differences and be like, you know what, we are still going to interact with each other as the parents of this child or the parents of these children, or we are still going to communicate, or we are still going to be there and allow our child or children to have an experience, to still have their father in their life, or still have their mother in their life, and then agree on the terms. Agree on the terms, and whatever those terms are, are going to, when we're coming to agreeing to, when we come to agreeing to those terms, let's not put our interests or our interests as partners. Yeah, so those agreements that we are going to put, it should be at the best interest of the child. And even in most cases, for example, if the child is at an age where the child is able to talk for themselves, to talk and have a to air out their opinions or their thoughts or their feelings, also let's incorporate them, incorporate them on what do they want, who do they want to stay with, where do they want to stay, you know in a way, please, I beg of all of us. For me, it's still a struggle too. Up to this day, we're still having challenges of even seeing eye to eye with my baby daddy about the well-being, of where should the child be, with whom, where best can we think the child can be, because whatever I say, I'm being judged. I'm being judged that whatever I'm saying either out of jealousy or out of my emotions or whatever. And then whatever he's saying, I'm also judging him for whatever he's saying. So we are still in that struggle. But the reason why I'm sharing this story is because if only one or two people out there can learn from the own mistakes for me that I've made, or that the mistakes I've found myself in, and the consequences of those mistakes is what I'm here to put out and share, and if we can use those things to better ourselves and then better out the lives of our children, and then even with our partners too, so yeah. And they also, another thing is, because we normally break up on bad terms, we end up saying nasty things about the other person to our children, giving our children an image of who these people, the other parent is, and we don't give the child the opportunity to discover for themselves who actually their father is or who actually their mother is. But then we put into their minds who their mother is or who their father is, depending on how we feel about this person. That's what. And then we forget, in most cases we forget that actually, if this hurt, it was me who was hurt. It wasn't this child who was hurt. It was me who was hurt by their father. And the father has not hurt the child. The relationship between the child and the father is different from the relationship I have with the father. Likewise, also if I've had terrible issues with the mother of my child, if she has hurt me so badly, she has done terrible things to me, it is this woman who has done these terrible things to me, not my child. And it is this woman has not done, as long as the woman has not done anything terrible to her own child, there's no need for me to say all these terrible things of, oh, your mother is this, your mother is that, your father is this, your father is that. No. And the only best way we can do this is if we individually, either being a father of this child or mother of this child who is not now together with the other parent, be the bigger person to allow this child to discover for themselves who their other parent is, but not us taking the initiative to put words or ideas into their heads. If we can do that, that will be a good thing for all of us, for our own peace of mind, and then for this child, most importantly for this child. Like I said, the relationship hasn't worked out, well and good, but that shouldn't deprive this child of their father, of their mother, or of the idea of their father, or of the idea of their mother. Let's give the children the opportunity to experience for themselves who the other parent is. And just as a closing remark, to those who have been successfully not been into relationships that have ended up without a child, those who have not been stuck like some of us we are, you are in relationships, please, as long as you are with a person you don't see a future of ending up together with, or you're seeing those what we call red flags, or some of us don't, our eyes don't see red flags, or there are things uncomfortable about this person that really bothers us so much that one day we know we can pick our bags and leave, or we can call it quits with this person. Please, I beg you to play it safe. Play it safe to the extent that makes sure a child doesn't come yet, so that you don't have to deal with what some of us are dealing with today, of having baby daddies and baby mamas, and we're not with them, and there's so much drama. I can't break down the dramas here so much because I'm not here for the drama bit of it. I'm here for us to do better, to be better parents to our children, regardless of whether we are with the other parent or not, you know. So those of the young men and young women out there who have still not been caught up in the baby daddy and baby drama issues yet, please, I beg you, play it safe until when you find that person that you're comfortable with, and you know deep down yourself that you're going to do whatever it takes to work it out with this person to make it work, so that you can be the father and the mother and build that family for your children. Please wait until then. But like I said, that's all I had for us all for today. If it's your first time, please don't forget to subscribe. Let's subscribe and build this young channel, this small channel of ours, so that we can pass the message across, messages about family, about life, about business, about fun, and everything else that your girl here, Favorite Uhuru, is all about. Thank you and love you.